Gareth Edwards returns to the cinema after a 7-year absence with his take on man versus AI in The Creator, starring John David Washington. Let's talk about it. Gareth Edwards wrote, directed, and produced this big-scale epic opus, which is yet another take on man versus AI, which has certainly become a very relevant topic in recent times. This film, by Edwards' own admission, draws inspiration from several different sources, and if you've been to the movies in the last 40 years, you may identify several yourself. I personally get Blade Runner, at least thematically, and a little visually, though mostly the visuals feel like a live-action 1990s Japanese animation, but in the best way. John David Washington plays Joshua, who is persuaded to go on a mission into AI territory to destroy what he is told is a weapon. They persuade him by telling him that his wife, who he believes is dead, is still alive and he hopes to find her. Of course, if you've seen the trailer, you know that the weapon is in the form of a young child, which complicates things. The Creator is a bit of a road film, a buddy film, a family drama, and high-concept sci-fi. It also manages to touch on the theme of the AI controversy, but not in the most typical way, since the way the AI characters are depicted in the story are so totally self-aware and human in behavior. The conflict is more one of slaves uprising against their human masters. Now, while watching this film, I was reminded of a much older film from about 30 years ago that dealt with the subject of AI. Not Blade Runner. Daryl, Data Analyzing Robot Youth Lifeform. Particularly a conversation between two human characters.
Mulligan, then Stewart, now you. Why?
General, the machine becomes human when you can't tell the difference anymore.
That feels like the theme of The Creator more than anything else, in my opinion. And that is in no small way due to the performance of newcomer Madeleine Yuna Voiles, who plays Alfie, the weapon. Aside from being a very capable little actress who can hold her own against John David Washington, who also, to be fair, does bring it in this film, as he usually does, Voiles has a great deal of screen presence, and she and Washington have good chemistry. In fact, the whole cast is good. Washington seems to be gravitating to these high-concept science fiction roles lately. It could be said that he works well in them because, like his dad, he has a fundamentally relatable everyman human quality, yet plays characters who are extraordinary in their ordinariness. He is also able to display sincere vulnerability, which was definitely needed for this character. The cast also includes Ken Watanabe, and a surprising performance from Allison Janney, who pretty much is the heavy in this one, at least by default, though it's hard to get mad at her given her motivations. And in typical Janney fashion, she knocks it out of the park because Allison Janney never sucks at anything she does, at least not that I've seen. We also get a nice, although brief, performance from Gemma Chan. As a whole, The Creator is a fantastic looking film, making the most of its somewhat modest budget, which I've heard from various sources is anywhere between 80 to 100 million. Okay, that's a lot of money. But for films that look the way this one does, they tend to cost about 3 times that much. Obviously, with the story taking place in the future, with a futuristic city, cityscapes, vehicles, and countless androids being depicted on screen, it would be easy to see where the budget would go. CG, of course. Edwards' passion for this project and his background in visual effects served him extremely well on this project. He figured out the way to get what he wanted by taking skeleton crews on location that best served the visuals that he needed, and then built all the visuals on top of the cut film, which was shot almost entirely, by the way, on a prosumer Sony FX3 camera. Now, visually, I have no complaints. The movie is beautiful. It does feel like the movie was cut to make a certain length, though, at the expense of the flow of the story. It feels like there's parts missing. Even if all the component parts are there, there's just no flow. Maybe the missing parts are mostly shoe leather, but it still feels like there's something missing. And also it feels like there's just a little deus ex machina to set up the third act and the climax of the film. That said, I still like the movie, but this flick may not be for everyone. In fact, I'm positive, just based on conversations I overheard leaving the theater, that some people will not like it at all. But my own critiques aside, I have to admit that it accomplished its goal as a great-looking science fiction epic as well as a heartfelt family drama. If it becomes a sci-fi classic, well, only time will tell, but I did enjoy it. But if Gareth Edwards releases an extended cut, I will pick it up. Have you seen The Creator yet? If so, what did you think? I'm very curious. Please leave your comments below, and also, please give us a like, subscribe, share it, and next time you get a chance, catch a flick, but don't forget to go outside and touch the grass. Peace.